Hi guys, this is Tuti Gogia. In case you are listening this voice for the very first time, you can go check out my social media handles. And this is season 4 of Stuti Speaks. And today I have a very special guest with me whose name is Naveen. So first of all, Naveen, thank you for collaborating for this podcast. And we found each other via LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn is a very great platform to collaborate and network with people, especially who are doing great in their corporate journeys and in their professions. So thank you, Naveen, for collaborating on this podcast. Naveen is a mechanical engineer with 17 years of experience in product design. He currently serves as a senior engineering manager in dishwasher category at Whirlpool. Also, he is an IIMA alumnus, and he also holds over 10 US patents, which is huge. So this was the intro I have for you, Naveen, but then I would want you to add if there's something that we missed, and then we can take the conversation forward from there. Also, to the context of listeners, we'll be talking about navigating the path of success in corporate ladder or specifically in your career. So over to you, Naveen.
Thank you, Stuti. Thank you for having me today, and it is great to be, talking to you on, especially on the career right today. Just to give a background about me, I'm from south of India, and I did my college in Mysore, a college called the National Institute of Engineering, and I did my industrial and production engineering there. And this has almost been 14 years with this is my second company where Whirlpool, and almost 14 plus years here with Whirlpool here. Yeah, it's been almost 14 years in Pune as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, how did you decided that you want to join Whirlpool, or like how was your initial career path look like as a fresher when you passed out of college?
Yeah, so when I passed out of college, I was campus placed. I was in the third year of my engineering. I got a campus placement. I was placed to a company called Wipro, where it was more on electronics, telecommunication, and software, and also they also had a mechanical division. But unfortunately, when I started my career, it had to be in a software for a couple of months, just at the start of couple of months. Then I moved back into mechanical, which was my passion. Fortunately, I was able to get an internal posting there, and I was able to apply and got it through. So that is one thing which kickstarted my mechanical engineering career.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So, basically, now coming back to the main topic, but before that, how was your IIM Alumnus? I know you did a executive MBA. How was that journey for you, and when did you decided that you want to go for that?
Yeah, so that was just couple of years back. I did it. So when we look at our career, what is that we wanted to do? And one thing when I was doing the self reflection, I felt for whatever I was needing to do in my career, I wanted a education which is helping me out there, right? So that is one thing which I choose, and I had looked at for a lot of many colleges, and then finally I drilled down into IMA, and this is what for a executors, for a working professional, there was a course which is more about a general management course. It is not as an MBA sort of, it's a course which I did for a year, and that actually elevated a bit on my career. And it was
Okay.
it was more on my career path which I was looking at. Okay, this is what I need, and it was general management, it was not specific to it. So going further, I may get into a specific domain.
Okay, great. And how does it look like? Does you get a network? Do you interact with people? Do you go for classes once in a while? How does that work?
Yeah, that was a weekend classes, and that cohort
Okay.
is completely all around India. And as it was a virtual class where we had to go to a institute, like a center here, where we had to sit together and listen to the professors who are in Ahmedabad, right? So it was a good cohort all around India. I was very lucky to have networking and also collaborating with a lot of experienced people around in their individual fields. So this is not specific to engineering. It had people coming from construction business, people coming from their own like medical businesses, and also there were people from marketing, sales. So it was really good to have them as a cohort to learn together.
Okay, great. Now let's come back to where we started the podcast. We can start from the basic topic again, navigating the path to success. So, how do you think? Let's make a blueprint. Let's make a roadmap on how, and let's make it a bit more generic so the person who has just entered the corporate can find a way out. Like, let's create a roadmap for 10, 12 years of their initial 10, 12 years of their journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, with my experience, with my perspective, I'll tell a couple of things which should help people out who is listening to this. So, especially the one thing which I would always look at is a self reflection. So that is one thing which we have to do, and very promptly we have to do. It is not like I just do for namesake, like, okay, I'm here in this, I'm doing this, this is my strength. So it would be more about go deeper, because you are your own critic, right? So you have to criticize
Right.
yourself, so to be
So true.
the right outcome, like coming out of it, right? So first step is self reflection. The second one, once you get your self reflection, look at the goal, and the goal should be shorter, and a long term goal and a short term goal both. So long term goal should be defined first. What is that we want to do in our career, and what is that we want to do in our life? Then drill down into a shorter goals on that. Once you get a shorter goal, I would say we have to create an action plan, especially around it, saying like, to be there after 15 years, what should I do? 5 years, what should I do today? Right. So I
Okay,
mean, today, what is
that's
that I have to
great.
learn? Like, what experience I should gain, who I should be networking with to gain the knowledge and exposure. So we have to come down to a smaller bit at the down, what I have to do today to be up at 15 years down the line. And also we should be very flexible, because corporate, right? So uh, and also a lot of things which we have to be flexible, because sometimes whatever you think or whatever you want, you may not be getting it at that point of moment, because it's an opportunity based, right? If you don't have an opportunity, you should be flexible enough to look at my stepping stone in the other area and then jump back to your career back. And last and foremost, I would say, like, progress. So that is, if we don't have any progress or a tangible outcome in whatever goals we set, whatever reflections we make, and whatever action plans we do. So if you don't get that, the that is the measurement, what you look at the metrics, right? Like, what is the progress I make, and the next self reflection will come after that, right? So yeah, that's more important, to have a progress towards that.
Hmm. So basically, you are saying, what do you chalk out a map like 5, 10, 15 years, then do what you want to do right now, daily, then what you want to achieve in 5 years, then what you want to achieve in next 15 years.
Right.
अब इसको थोड़ा सा let's more break it down because this is very high level. So daily, like, how can you define your daily goals? Is it that you should go with the organization, what are they telling you, or you should go deeper into the things like uh, looking towards your 5 year goal, what are the learnings, what I can learn, like, can you explain a bit of that?
Okay, so uh, we can take some example, right? So right now, if a person is in a field of passion, what he is doing, right? So say, for example, if it's the right place, what he likes to do, end of the day. So the person will be very clear on what is needed for me in that career path to go into the success, right? So say, for example, a person wants to be an entrepreneur. So for him,
Okay.
so he might be at the entry level, like 5 years experience or someone into a technical field. But when you look at a field of getting in an entrepreneurship, you have to know the business, right? So in 5 years down the line, the person should be looking into learning about strategic thinking, learning about people management, learning about money management, financial accuracy, right? So there are a lot of things which he has to learn. So he has to drill down into that. Okay, next 5 years I have to do that. For that, what should I do in next 2 years? Maybe a course is needed, maybe an exposure, diverse exposure, where he's into technical, but the person can move into a bit of business side. So like, looking at what is needed to learn today to be after 5 years, where financial accuracy and business needs, like strategic thinking and all other things. So that's how I would say, like, look at what you want to be, then drill down. So maybe a small amount of mentorship is needed, right? Maybe just to get what is needed to in my career, what should I learn next to be in a business, right? For that, even for that, you need a mentor, you need a coach. Even that could be a daily goal for today's goal, that in next 2 to 3 weeks I should be finding a mentor, and go behind that, look at for the right mentor for you, who could be the right one, and try to get that person aligned on whatever you are thinking at, and then drive towards it.
And maybe you can, if not a mentor, you can join the similar kind of community or network with the
Yeah,
similar kind of people, either on LinkedIn or via some courses, as you said, like you did. But you did, I am at later stage. Maybe initially, if you wanted something, you would have networked with different kind of people who were doing the same stuff. So
exactly.
that comes as a daily activity. And obviously, as we know about the atomic habits, this will keep on adding and then compounding, and you will be able to reach your 5 yearly goal, right?
Yep,
So
exactly.
how self reflection को थोड़ा सा और explain करते हैं. What do you think can be different methods of self reflection?
So, uh, what I usually do is, so self reflection is like just chatting it down. What is your main, like your strengths and weaknesses, right? So, always I try to use a SWOT analysis for myself.
SWOT and
SWOT is where I do it for myself as well, and pretty much every year I do it at the start of the year. I do it for both professional and also personal life. Like,
wow.
what is my SWOT? Where is, like, there could be a lot of challenges in the family as well, right? So how do I overcome that? What is my weakness there? What is an opportunity for a family or for me as an individual person? Even I do it for the career. So that is one thing where I will look at what is my weakness and what is my opportunity and how I can make it more stronger, to a strength perspective. And
Got
also
it.
we have to analyze the threats as well, right? So threats is more important to know what is your threats coming in. So
And SWOT is like that box. Now I think I had a training, so it like
yeah,
we
four
create a
quadrant,
square for quadrant, and then we divide them further. Yeah.
right?
Okay. So that is one form of self reflection. I also feel like I want to add mine. I feel journaling helps a lot.
Hmm.
When you go inside, you ask yourself question, kind of SWOT only, but in different, in a more casual manner. You should say. I think that also helps in self reflection. And I feel one more important tool is where you get basically being attracted to things that you want to do, like finding your passion,
Hmm.
especially things you were more fascinated in childhood. That's also, I think, one of the techniques of self reflection, right?
Yes, exactly.
So now we have done self reflection, coming to like then obviously taking actions accordingly, joining courses, finding mentors, and then creating the plan further. Now tell me how much, as we discussed, like how much is the soft skill people management important in any kind of ladder of success? What is the importance of soft skill?
Yeah, soft skill, Stuti, it's equally important as what we have on the technical, right? So if you just have a technical knowledge and if we lag on soft skill, we may not be able to put up a presentation to a leadership team, right? So it's like, even if you're not a people leader, or even if you're not a manager, soft skill is very much important. How do you make sure that you are having your stakeholder management? How do you make sure your influencing skills are in the right place, where you are doing the right things to get the business, or get the things done for you with respect to what you are going to achieve in the corporate world, and also with respect to your day-to-day work, right? So how do you, how people see you? So that's more important. How confident you are in speaking up, and also with leaders, with your peers, and also with your juniors, right? So it's always there. So soft skill is equally important. Sometimes I would say it is more important than technical as well, in the case to case basis.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so I think we have made a roadmap of overall like path. Any other major pointers you want to add on a high level? Like these were like detailed one. Anything overall you want to add to what you said?
Yeah, on this overall, one thing which I just wanted to add is on the 10 20 70 rule. Usually, when we look at an education, because we talked about some of the things about education, like trainings and other things, so those things will be we will be learning just 10% of it, like from, like, through education. So if something you want to learn
Hmm.
something, maybe if you want to
Got
be
it.
a public
Got
speaker,
it.
right? So with the training, when you get into a
Yeah.
training mode, you just learn 10%. You will get a
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
more
Yeah. Right.
knowledge. That is when you look at, when you have a 20% learnings will
Yeah.
happen when you are doing a exposure. So that is like, you like, if I take an example of a public speaking,
I
when you
think
start
we
going
lost.
into
I
public
lost you.
speaking,
Hello.
listen to the speakers, listen to the people who
Hello.
are doing it. So that is one thing which I would say, right? So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I lost you in between, but that's okay. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll start from first, maybe you can, we can do that.
Yeah, yeah, you can.
So
Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah, one thing I wanted to add, along with this, the roadmap is 10 20 70 rule, where usually when we look at how our usual routine works, is like 10% of the knowledge will be gained through education. So if you look for a training or a course, or joining some college or something, we will learn only 10% of it. Say for example, we'll take an where somebody is wanting to be a public speaker, and he wants to know, or be expertise in that. So first thing what the person will do is, he'll get into a course, he'll get into a LinkedIn course, he'll get into a Udemy course or somewhere, understand what is public speaking and all. So there the person will just learn just the 10% of it about what is public speaking. The next 20% of learning will come when he goes and attends the public speaking forum. It could be Toastmaster, it could be TEDx or somewhere. Be in present, attend, talk to those folks who are giving speeches, get learning from them, and how they put themselves in there in front of everyone, how do they speak. So that's where your exposure is. The last 70%, that is where the major chunk comes in. That is when you get into an experience. That is where you actually start doing a public speaking. The first speaking will not be right, but over a period of time you will become great in it. So to become a public speaker, just if you look at this 10 20 70 rule, so 10% is where just you get about what is public speaking, 20% is about the exposure, 70% comes in your hands on. So whatever we try to do today, whatever we try to get a certification or course today, we will be needing to do an experience in it. Like, it is a journey, it doesn't come in a day. It takes its own time, and depending on the self and also the environment around the person, to speed up the learning process for the person. I just wanted to
So,
add this as a.
so basically, you are saying there should be a 10, 20, 70 rule that should be applied. That will be best to find out your career path and path to success, right? That's what you're saying. Okay,
Not on the
great.
path to success, Tuti. It is more
Success.
about how do you do it. So, say for example, if
Okay.
a person wants to be a public speaker, that's one thing what he wants to do, right? That's his passion.
Hmm.
How do we
Hmm.
get there? So he might take
Hmm.
3 years to be a very good public speaker. That
Public
3 years
speaker.
journey will be starting from your education, exposure, and experience. And most of the
Hmm.
guys get confused at the early stage of career, where if they do an education, if they do a certification course, that is good enough for a person to get up in the ladder in the career. So that doesn't happen. The 70% comes in where you show that you are capable of doing it, and I can do that particular role, or I can do that particular thing what the person got trained for, right? So that is the thing which I wanted to mention.
So basically, studying exposure experience and then 2070. And I think obviously we all learn best at while working, while
Yeah.
having the experience, because
Yeah.
that's a practical approach that helps us the best way to learn anything when we are new at it specifically. So, एक बार you'll feel okay, then you'll feel better, then you feel more better, and again, as I say, atomic habits and compounding, you'll be good towards the end of it. Okay, these were like we chalked out in general. Can you tell your what helped you in your career? Like what, obviously self reflection and everything was there, but in specific, do you think that mentors played a great role? What was your major contributors throughout your journey?
Yep, yep. So that's very good, and I'm very glad I had good mentors throughout my career, right from my day one of my career. Like, I still remember a person in my previous organization. He was two level above me. He was a category manager there. He was a delivery lead, and he was the one who made me realize that, okay, don't just go with the flow. You should be knowing what you need to do, and you should be learning towards it. And yeah, the like and throughout the years your mentors changes. once your goal changes, maybe some person will be very good at some particular area, right? So if say for example somebody is good at technical, where I want to learn technical more, I should be mentoring with them, partnering with them. And most of the time, majority of the time, I made it official. That is,
Hmm.
I had it through my
Hmm.
manager, his manager aligning, and
Hmm.
like it was more official for me on
Hmm.
the mentoring
Hmm.
perspective. So
Hmm. Hmm.
that one thing which also helped me a lot with respect to there. And also
Hmm.
networking helps once you have your mentors, when they
Hmm.
are when they have seen you. uh,
Huh.
all mentors
Hmm.
would be like, we should be picking a mentor
Hmm.
who is at least two level above your in your
Hmm.
organization. Like, say for example,
Acha.
if someone
Okay.
is an
Hmm.
entry level, he should be taking a mentor
Huh.
who is at like 8 years or 10 years
8
experience.
years experience, because they know the organization the best and they know which part to, and they have done their own mistakes
Yeah.
in their own journey, so they can tell you from their mistake ki ye galti I did, you don't do the similar kind of mistake. So yeah, that's great. That's, and I think that's a very important insight. So how do you, what like, what you feel is important after, like when you reach to a stage where you're like 10, 13, 14 years of experience now, like say 15, because wahan tak it's still, I feel it's still easier to chalk out path because there is a ladder that is happening. But after 15, 16 years upar there is a kind of pyramid ka edge hota hai na, niche
Hmm.
there is a lot of people, then you go upar and then there are VPs, directors, so it's slightly tougher to find your path like in the upper layers. So yeah, can you suggest a bit about like how to move even more up in ladder?
So along our career, we should be also
Hmm.
looking into diversifying our career as well. We should be looking
Hmm.
at different field. What is that?
Hmm. Hmm.
We should not be sticking. Like
Hmm.
it's either
Hmm.
way. With my perspective, I feel like we should be having diverse experience. We should not be sticking to
Hmm.
one particular thing, where you
Hmm.
might get into a
Hmm.
stagnation or the role may not be
Hmm.
there, right? So we should be looking at
Okay. Hmm.
understanding the diversification. So can I
Hmm.
have some bit of
Hmm.
exposure for sales when I'm doing a
Hmm.
design? Can I have some bit of on the manufacturing? Can I have
Hmm.
some bit
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
marketing as well? So we should be looking
Hmm.
at as much as possible on
Possible.
getting more
Hmm.
diverse experience
Diverse.
there. So that will
Hmm.
help you a
Hmm.
great to a great level when you are at higher level. You
Okay.
might you might be having more exposure compared to your peer. That might be an
Hmm.
value added for you.
Okay. Then while you were talking this, I had one question in my mind which just came in. How much do you think is switching the jobs and organization important? Because I know there are two kinds of people in industry. One who keep changing every 3, 4 years and have start like having those jumps in the finances mainly, but still not sticking to organization for long. And then there are people who stick for an organization for long and jump to the very higher levels even if the finances are not growing that much. So what do you think is better way, or it's to each of its own? What do you think on that level,
I would
like
say
that
it is
ways?
a personal choice, because when you look
Hmm.
at your SWOT, right? What do you want to do? I'll go back to the reflection piece, right? What do you want to do in
Hmm.
your career? What do you want to do? What is your priority? So when
Hmm.
your priority comes into focus, where my career more than career, the financial thing, so then you see people jumping around.
Hmm.
But when the priority is more on career, you will see like a person sticking to an
Hmm.
organization. And
Okay.
also I would say, when you shift organization, it's my
Hmm. Hmm.
perspective, I'm just
Hmm.
putting up my perspective here. It will be
Hmm.
very difficult to know in depth of knowledge, because you have to
Acha.
redo, you have to say, for example, in a company, if a person is there for 3 years and he tries to shift to other company,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
previous company, he would have actually laid his foundation, like who is that person, what is his working
Hmm.
style, and what
Hmm.
he is looking at. And again, when you go to a new organization, you have to start from scratch, you have to prove yourself.
Scratch.
Again, you have to
So
start
true.
like proving yourself, you have to show who you are, what is your capability, then again it will start from there. So it's a kind of restart what happens, but with benefits of compensation for sure. But the thing is, if somebody is focused more on career, I have seen many people sticking to an organization and I've seen them grow. uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's my perspective.
Okay. Hmm. So it would vary, but I personally feel I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I feel if a company is spending a lot of you on your trainings, your skills, skill upskilling, and your mentorship, it should be like it's a two-way thing. Then if you are growing a bit, even the finances are slightly less, and you are having that work-life balance, I think you should stick to the companies for a longer time rather than just looking for highs, because I think, as you said, that scratch se shuru karna padta, which is again a hustle.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I'm not saying the hustle is less there or here, but yeah, it's like to each of his own. How do you want
exactly.
to proceed
Yeah,
in
and also
proceed in
when company is also
Hmm.
spending on you, as you rightly mentioned, right? So company also looks for some stability and some,
Yeah.
having that confidence in the person. That's why they're spending it on. Yeah, that's one thing is there, but yeah, it's an individual choice. I not say this is right or wrong. It's about the choices what they make in their life, right? And what is the priority for an individual at that point of time.
Great, great. So we have just, I think, most of the many aspects of the not exactly success, but also career as well. Not like we have not touched one percent. And how much do you think is a good network important? I think we have talked about mentoring and networkship, but about like significance of a network. How do you think is a good network? Something like LinkedIn, because we connected via LinkedIn. So I think something like LinkedIn or something, any other network is important for this kind of growth. Yeah.
Yeah, so networking is really, really important. So networking can be, as you mentioned, in social media like LinkedIn or any other areas as well, and also in your organization, also with
Yeah.
your friends who you are cohorting with. Like cohort is really important for success. So always,
Hmm.
I would say, even to my kids, always say like cohort is important. With whom you are around, that's important, because if you're with an experienced person who has learned a lot in his career and life, so he will teach you, he will make sure that the discussion comes up, and the discussion you learn from that like this is coming where the exposure piece is 20%, right? So network will help you on that one, and it will also help you ease with your if you have something some important things to be done, your network will
Hmm.
also be helping. Okay, I have seen this done in somewhere else, maybe go and reach out to this person, right? So
So true.
same thing, even
Hmm.
we connected in the similar way with our networks, right? So we
Hmm.
didn't connect as us, right? So
Hmm.
with we had
Hmm.
someone to connect us there, so that is
Yeah.
always an important thing.
Important. Yeah, yeah, and your network is your net worth. Some people say that as well. So yeah, that ways. Anyways, we are towards the end of the podcast. So basically, any lessons or you want to summarize in a way for a 2 3 minute where people can take away like towards the end, so we can do that.
Yeah, I would say everyone don't miss the self reflection. That is more important, and also make sure that your self reflection is thoroughly self reflected. It should not be just for a namesake we are doing it. It should be really self reflection, and action plans. Right
Hmm.
action plans, right time, and don't
Hmm.
miss the mentoring opportunities what you get from your. It could be from your peers, it could be from your seniors. Don't miss that, and don't limit yourself. That is one thing which I'd always say. Don't limit that this is what I can do. Don't limit
Hmm.
at any moment of time. So sky is the limit, and nobody can stop you in the career if you are doing the right things. And also, opportunity does not happen, we have to create them with the right
Hmm.
strategies what we are looking at in the career, right knowledge, experience, and what we want to do, and our cohort is more about we create an opportunity there, right? So opportunity doesn't happen as it is that we have to create.
That's great. That's amazing. So, वैसे तो we are at the end, but I still wanted to ask you, what are your plans? Like, how are you looking forward for your next 10 years of your corporate journey, or whatever you want to do in life professionally? What is your path
Yeah,
for that?
for me,
Yeah.
I would want always to be close to business, so that is why I was looking at like doing some executive course and other things. So right now, till 10 12 years I was more into technical side, and I want to be into close into business side. It's a bit change of my uh, course, right? So like I'm changing my path a bit there. So that's where I'm to. I'm still in the early stages of that. Hopefully I get through that and I get into that role.
Yeah. That's great. I hope you achieve whatever you want to in all your upcoming areas of life, not only professionally but personally as well. So, I would firstly want to say you thank you for being my guest. Thanks for collaborating on this podcast. I'm really grateful that we got in touch and did this. I hope this helps someone and they can take away. They have something for them. So yeah. So thank you, Naveen. Thanks for being my guest. And I think yeah. Sorry, you were saying
Yeah.
something.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sati. Thank you for yeah, having me here today, and it was nice meeting to you.
Same here, same here. So, on that note, listener, for all the listeners, thank you so much for listening to us and stay happy, stay blessed, and most importantly, stay grateful.